and welcome to episode 27 of the Crazy Sock Lady podcast. My name is Kay, and this is my podcast all about knitting and occasionally some crocheting or other crafty bits thrown in there, but mostly knitting and lots of yarn. Today is Wednesday, July 26th, and I am coming to you from Havelock, North Carolina, where I live with my husband, our 2 sons, and our 2 dogs. You can find me on Instagram and Ravelry as The Crazy Sock Lady. If you go to the groups tab on Ravelry and search for The Crazy Sock Lady podcast, we do have a group over there, so be sure to head over there and join. There's always something fun going on. And there's a Wyatt. There's a Wyatt here today. That was my son, for those of you that are maybe new viewers. It is summer break here, so there are kids in the house, and it's crazy here for the summer. But yes, back to what we were talking about. If you head over to the group, please join us over there. There's always knit-alongs, giveaways, lots of chatter. There is an introduction thread, a howdy y'all thread, so be sure to introduce yourself. And there's also an ask me thread. If you have any questions, head over there and pop those in that thread, and I will either get back to you on Ravelry or answer them here on the podcast. Down in the down bar below, you can find links for the Ravelry group, show notes, anywhere that you can find me online. And there are also timestamps for the episode if you would like to skip ahead to a certain portion of the podcast. Now, a little bit of administrative stuff with the Ravelry group. Last episode, I did announce some winners for the Sock Crazy Cow that is going on. That is a year-long knit-along for any socks that you knit throughout the year. Baby socks don't count, but anything else will count, and you can enter those over there. I drew winners from April to June within that thread, and I announced some winners. I still have 2 winners that have not contacted me. So if you knit any socks and enter them into the Sock Crazy Cow between April and June, be sure to check out the last episode to see if you won. If those 2 winners have not contacted me by the next episode, I will go ahead and draw again for those. I do want to make sure that those prizes that have been so generously donated to the podcast do find their way to a winner for the knit-along. We do have 2 swapless swaps still open in the group right now. The first one is through Yarn Enabler, and we have 2 spots available for that still. The second one is with Angie of Camel City Dye Works, and we have 32 spots available for that one. So if you're interested in getting some minis, it does cost, but you do not have to swap anything back, hence the swapless swap. So you pay the set amount and you will get some minis in the mail. There is a coupon codes thread in the Ravelry group, so be sure to head over there if you're looking to do any shopping or maybe want to find a new shop you've never heard of. If you are a maker and would like to donate a coupon code to the podcast, you can head over there and put it in the thread or get in touch with me and I will get it listed in there for you. Knit-alongs, we do have the Sock Crazy Cow that I have already mentioned. Now, last podcast, I did mention that we may start a new one that would be knit socks in a way that you have never knit them before. But we're going to push that one back just a little bit because I have something exciting that we're going to talk about here in just a little bit. I think we'll talk about it in finished objects for a new knit-along that I want to do. So that one, the new technique or new way that you've never knit socks before, that one we will be doing eventually, but this next one I'm so excited about that I just cannot wait, and we have to do it right now. And I hope that you guys will be as excited too. But we will eventually be doing the one with the new technique. Little coffee break here. Got my Dunkin' Donuts coffee, as I seem to have the past few episodes, I think. I'm showing off my Gryffindor pride today. I am a Gryffindor. I have been sorted. Wyatt, should we tell them what you are?
I'm a Hufflepuff.
Wyatt's a Hufflepuff. He's been sorted too. Okay, now we have the 2,500 subscriber giveaway that I announced last week. I opened up 3 threads in the Ravelry group, so we are going to go through those. I closed them, locked them this morning, and went ahead and drew winners for the 3 prizes that we have. So the first prize, I'm going to be looking over here to look at my notes. The first prize is the Who Wears the Crown shawl pattern, and that was donated by Kim Brigio of Not Your Average Knits podcast. And the winner for that, there was 90 entries. The first one was mine, so I drew 2 through 90, and the winner was number 68, which is Chrissy from Texas. And the question with that was, what is your favorite shawl that you've ever knit? And Chrissy knit the Snowmelt shawl by Curious Handmade, and that was her favorite. And hers is gorgeous. The shawl is gorgeous, period. It is definitely on my to-do list. So congratulations, Chrissy. If you will get in touch with me on Ravelry, let me know that you've seen this. I will pass along your Ravelry ID to Kim so that she can send that to you. The next one is the Country Roads socks, and that was donated by Nordic Stitches. And there was 89 entries in that, so I did 2 through 89 since the first one was mine. And the winner is number 40, which is Analia. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Analia from California. And her favorite sock pattern, that was what the question was for that. What was your favorite sock pattern? And hers is a Smooth Operator Socks by Susan B. Anderson, which is a fabulous pattern. It is definitely full of information, so I highly recommend that one as well. So congratulations, Analia. If you will get in contact with me, I will let Lily of Nordic Stitches know that she can send that to you. Okay, the last one was our bag and yarn combo prize. Here's the bag. And this was donated by Erica of the Scrappy Thread. And then we have some yarn from Emily over at Wool Fiend. And this is her Winter is Coming colorway. So for this one, we had 171 entries. So I did 2 through 171, and the winner is number 41, which is Rebecca from Oklahoma. So congratulations, Rebecca. If you will send me your full name and your mailing address, I will get this out to you ASAP. Congratulations again to all of our winners, and thank you so much to all of the makers who have donated patterns and prizes, not just this time, but always for the podcast. It's always appreciated. It just makes these knit-alongs and giveaways so much more fun, and y'all are amazing, so thank you. Now it is time for finished objects, and I feel like I have a lot to show you guys in finished objects today. It's kind of insane, and everything that I have to show you is socks. I was like a sock knitting machine since the last podcast. That's a lot of socks. That's a lot of socks, isn't it? What? Yeah, I've been busy. So I'm just going to go through them here as I have them in the pile. So the first ones that I'm going to show you are for a knit-along. It is the Magical Maladies knit-along. And what it is a sock pattern club. There's 4 months. The first one started this month in July, and it is with Naughty Gnome Crafts. And they are Harry Potter themed. So I had to join, you guys. I just had to join. So here is the first pattern. They are a mirrored image sock called Spattergroit. This is the left sock, this is the outside, and then this is the right sock. So let me show you them up close first like this. So for this, they were knit cuff down on a US 0 2mm needle. I believe cast on 68 stitches for this. The yarn that I used is Connie from Chili Knits, her Imagination colorway on her strong sock base, I believe. And then heels and toes I did in Blue Topaz, which is a Knit Picks Stroll fingering. And I think it matched pretty well. Eric actually picked this color. Look at the detail on the cable and then this pattern down here. I was so happy with how these turned out. This is definitely probably the most intricate pattern I've ever done on a sock as far as the details on it. Now the heel that I used on this, I did use Mina Phillips German short row heel pattern with the added instep. She has an add-on for like a mini heel flap adjustment. So I did that, and I did it all in garter. So I just knit every row instead of purling any of the rows. Okay, so I'm gonna hold these up. Let's see, yes. They were on the blockers, so there is a line when I hold them up like this. Maybe they're not gonna show quite as pretty this way as I had imagined they would. But just so you can get a little bit of an idea how they look, I just love how they come together. And then you've got this little detail on the outside. And now I'll insert a picture here as well of me wearing them so you can see a little bit more how they look when they're on. So that is my Spattergroit socks. And if you have not joined this Cal, I believe there's still time. I believe as long as you knit the 4 patterns within the 4 months, it still counts. So if you think you could whip these out and get in with the other ones as well. I think the next one comes out August 3rd, I want to say. I could be wrong. Definitely head over and check out Naughty Gnome Crafts. There is a Ravelry group with a thread that has full information. I will link that in the show notes. Oh, and I should say, for all projects, finished objects, and works in progress, there is a projects page on Ravelry. If you head over there, if you have any questions, maybe I forget to mention something or you want some more detail, I do try to make a projects page for everything and put any notes in there on any changes I've made within the pattern. So head over there, and if you can't find what you're looking for, just shoot me a message on Ravelry and I'm happy to answer any questions that you have. Okay, my next socks are my July socks, and I've been keeping up with the Mina Phillips New York Sock Club collection. If you've been watching for a while, you know that I've done every month so far. So I finished the July socks, and here they are. These ones were a lot of fun to do. The yarn that I used for this, the main color, is Lolo Did It in her everyday sock, and the Breakfast Club is the colorway. And then I did a gray heel, and this was a mini that I had left over from the mini stripe cow that I did. I had the cozy mini set from Angie of Camel City Dye Works, and I had a good amount of each mini left. So I just threw this gray in here. I thought it matched pretty well. And again, I did the German short row heel that Mina offers in her patterns, and I did the added heel flap adjustment. I think that just works perfect. Fish lips, kiss heel, German short row heels. I have a high instep, so they don't always fit properly, not like I would like them to. So being able to do that mini heel flap adjustment, it's super easy. You do have a few gusset stitches to decrease, not as much though if you do a regular slip stitch heel flap and gusset. So it just works out perfect. Give you another little peek and a peek at that yarn. Isn't that so pretty? And again, I did the heel in all garter. I knit every single row. These I did on US 1, 2.25 millimeter, my 64 stitches that I usually do. And I think every other sock that I'm going to show you, US 1, 2.25 millimeter, 64 stitches. The next ones I'm going to show you are for Eric. These have kind of been a languishing whip, it seems like. I started them in June and I'm just now getting them done, but they were kind of my take everywhere knitting for a little bit, so they weren't getting a lot of work at home, they were just getting a lot of work when we were on the go. So here are Eric's socks, and the yarn that I used for these is Knit Picks Fleechy in the Beyond the Wall colorway. His foot is a little bigger than mine, so they are a little big on the blockers. For his, I do still do 64 stitches. I just add some length to the leg and the foot. 20 row cuff, then did the leg. I want to say 7 inches for the leg. For this, I just did a straight tube, and then I cut in and did a true afterthought heel, which is the Kirby Werby video on YouTube. That's what I've watched. This was the first time I did an afterthought heel on his socks, and it worked out pretty well. I think next time I do them, I will add a few more rows to the foot just to give him a little extra length. He says they fit fine, but I think he needs a little bit more in the foot. So I'll do that next time, but it worked out great. They fit him good, and he really likes them. The gray that I used for the heels, toes, and cuffs is Knit Picks, not Fleechy, this was the Fleechy, and this was Knit Picks Stroll Fingering in the ash colorway, and I think it matched pretty well. So there is both of those, and I'm very, very happy with them. He doesn't wear his socks in the summer, but he does get a lot of use out of them in the winter, so I'm happy to kind of be putting a few aside for him here and there. I think when I put in, because I have a spreadsheet on Excel where I try to keep track of all projects that I do, grams that I've used up, just how long they took me to do, just different things. And when I put in, I think it was my July socks. I haven't put these in yet because I just finished these last night. But when I finished my July socks and put them in, I had done 20 pairs of socks this year. So this will make 21. Actually, it'll be 22 because one of the other ones I'm going to show you is not on there yet either. So 22 pairs of socks this year. I think all of it, maybe 3 or 4 of those have been for me. When did I become such a selfish knitter? If you guys know me, and maybe you knew me before the podcast, you know that I am not a selfish crafter at all. I never was anyways. Apparently I am now. So now I don't know what has like come over me. I'm like, nope, that's for me. Nope, that's for me. It's kind of crazy. That many pairs of socks, and they're all for me, but like 4, I think. I think 4 have been for other people, and the rest are for me. I really should probably make my kids some socks because they have not gotten socks from me in quite a while. Yeah? You want some socks? So yes, apparently I am a very selfish knitter now. This is brand spanking new to me. I'm just trying to embrace it, and if I feel like knitting all the things for me, I'm gonna knit what makes me happy, but at the same time, I have a little bit of guilt with it, which sounds crazy because I shouldn't. I should craft and be happy making gorgeous things for myself, but I've never done that before. So this is crazy for me to be such a selfish knitter. But okay, anyways, yes, Eric's socks are done. These I will be entering into Amber of Yarn Junkie. She has I always mess the name up because it's not the box of socks. That's Kristen from Wool & Vine. Amber is doing one for your significant other, to knit your significant other socks. So be sure to head over to her Ravelry group and check that out. I'm going to enter these into there. I've already entered one of Eric's pairs in there, I believe. And I will also be entering this into the Game of Thrones knit along that Kim of Not Your Average Knits podcast is hosting. So I'm excited to get these done and get to enter them into some knit alongs. Next pair that I have to show you, if you follow me on Instagram, you may have seen the Insta stories that I posted about this process. I did the Afterthought Everything socks. Let's take a look at them. I am so in love with these socks. Okay, so the main yarn here is by Meg of Bad Wolf Girl Studios. She also has the Bad Wolf Girl Sits and Knits podcast. And this was the Doctor's Ugly Christmas Sweater colorway. It was a kit that she did with Georgianne of Stitching Plaza, who had an absolutely adorable bag. I should have brought it over to show it. It's back in my little cubby with all my project bags.
I'll go do it.
No, that's okay, baby. You don't have to. Thank you, though.
I'll get it.
It's in the right on the bottom. You will have to pull that out and then look. It's under a few of them. For the heels, the green that I used was a Knit Picks Stroll Fingering Everglade Heather, I believe. Yes, that is it. And then this was a Cascade Heritage, and I cannot remember the colorway. I will try to put it down here. If it's not down here, it is in the projects page on Ravelry. So I just kind of switched those up, as you can see, and I think they turned out really, really cute. Okay, so Wyatt so kindly ran over and got the bag. This is the bag that came in the kit. This is from Georgianne of Stitching Plaza, and it is absolutely adorable. Thank you, Wyatt. All right, so the process on these. I did take videos, pictures, all of that, and kind of posted that out on the Instagram stories for everyone to follow along. And it was a lot of fun. I actually cannot wait to cast on another pair. But I have gotten, as you'll see here, and we'll talk about in just a moment, I have gotten so distracted by some things that, but yes, totally besides the point. I've gotten distracted and I have not cast on another pair yet, basically is the point. But I loved this process. So the Afterthought Everything socks. There is a pattern by Erica Kempf Broughton. I did not use the pattern. I just kind of thought I'm going to wing it and go with it because I already knew how to do the Afterthought heel. I've mentioned it many times before, but the tutorial that I use for that is a video on YouTube. If you just search for Kirby Werby Afterthought heel, it'll pop right up. She does an amazing job explaining how to do the true Afterthought heel where you do not use scrap yarn. I absolutely love it. I would never use scrap yarn now because I just find it so exciting to snip that little stitch. So what I did for this, I started with the red. Knit all the way down. I just put in markers for my heel. I did 70 rows for the leg, put in a marker for my heel, and then continue on with the foot. So it would have went like this. This is how they would have connected. Then I just put in, once I measured for my foot, and how I did that, I had a lot of people ask, how did I do my measurements for my foot? I normally leave 2 inches for the heel when I do a true afterthought heel. And then I know with any toe on a sock that I do, I leave 1.75 to 2 inches for the toe. So I took my standard foot length. I wear a US 9. I took that foot length in inches. And by the way, if you Google shoe sizes in inches, you can find a whole chart from many different websites that'll tell you inches if you are not sure if you're making a gift for someone. Just a little tip. But yes, I knew for my socks it is 9 7/8 inches. So I subtracted 2 inches for the heel and 2 inches for the toe. And there you go. That's what I did for the foot. So I believe it's like 5 inches and something. I can't remember off the top of my head. But that's what I did for this. Then I put in another marker. And then the row after the marker, I measured from that to here, same length as the other for the foot, put in another marker for the heel. And then did 70 rows for the leg, 20 rows for the cuff. And for this one, since you are binding off on the cuff, I did Jenny's Surprisingly Stretchy Bind Off, which I know a lot of people have problems with it flaring out quite a bit. That's how mine looks. And as you can see, I mean, there's not a lot of flare. Let me take the other one off. It definitely does not look quite as neat, but I don't have a lot of flaring. So my tip for you, if you are having flaring with Jenny's Surprisingly Stretchy Bind Off, is when you are doing that bind off, you may be tempted to knit looser because you want a loose, stretchy bind off. Don't. Knit it tighter because it's already going to be a loose bind off. So if you knit that tighter, it's going to reduce any flaring that you may have. I mean, you look at those two, and there really isn't any flaring on this bind off. And I just think the tip with it is to knit it tighter. If you do that and you're still having problems, you can just look up some other stretchy bind offs. I know knit 2 through the back loop is a good one if you look up the directions on how to do that one. But what I did, I had it on my markers, and then I just went and did the toes first. So I had my marked row. I went in the 64 stitches above it, put in a set of needles, 64 stitches below that row, put in a set of needles, and just cut that row out. I snipped 1 stitch and just pulled it out with a darning needle. And then I knit toe on each of them. Then I just went back in with the Kirby Werby Afterthought heel tutorial and put my heels in. And there you have it. I thought it was a lot of fun. It was so much fun to work on this at home and everywhere we went and not have to really stop and worry about putting in a heel or a toe. I just popped that marker in and just kept right on going. My tip with this would definitely be to keep track of rows. I do have, I think, 1 less row on this sock compared to this sock. You can't tell at all, but I did make a mistake counting the rows. So my tip is definitely keep track of your rows, maybe double check them, and don't be afraid to snip that stitch. It can be kind of nerve-wracking, but as long as you have got needles into your stitches, you're golden. You will not have a problem. You know, nothing's going to completely unravel because you've got your needles in above and below that row you've marked, and you'll be good. So definitely, I think, give it a try. Like I said, there is the pattern if you want kind of written instructions. Definitely check out the Afterthought Everything Socks pattern. And then I think, though, honestly, if you watch the Kirby Werby video and you've done a heel, you're good. Give it a try if you're interested. I think it was a lot of fun. And I didn't mention, but I'm sure, you know, I've mentioned it on previous podcasts, and you could probably tell just from looking at the yarn, but these were for Meg's Christmas in July knit along that she was doing. That's why I did the red and green for the heels, toes, and cuffs. And you can see the speckles in the yarn. It is a Christmas colorway. Though it was funny, I started with the red. This is where I started. And I was working these up and I thought it's kind of, they look like 4th of July is what I kept thinking. Kind of reminded me of fireworks in the red, white, and blue. So yes, these were entered into Meg's Christmas in July knit along, and these will be my Christmas socks for this year. I had considered doing it for Eric, but since there is Stellina in the yarn, I was like, nope, they're mine. Again, with the selfish knitting, what can I say? So one more finished object, I promise, and then we will move on to works in progress. Like I said, I have been a sock knitting machine. So if you follow me on Instagram, you have already seen this sock pattern. You've already heard the news, but I'm going to Rhinebeck this year. What? I am so excited, you guys. This was not something that has been in the plans for a while. This was kind of a spur of the moment thing last week. Amber of Maker's Haven messaged me and asked, hey, do you want to go to Rhinebeck with me and Angie, which is Angie of Camel City Dye Works. So we have our house booked. We are ready to go. We have a plan set in motion. And Sandy of By the Lakeside podcast is going to be joining us in New York from Canada. So I am so excited about this trip. I cannot wait to get to go with these wonderful, amazing ladies. And this is all, none of us have ever been to Rhinebeck before. So the 4 of us, this is going to be our very first time. And I think that makes it even more exciting. We're all Rhinebeck newbies and we're going to be going together and getting to experience this amazing fiber festival for the first time. So if you guys are going, let me know. I would love the opportunity to meet some of you fellow podcasters or viewers that are out there. That would just be so much fun. So just let me know if you guys are going, because I definitely want to try to meet some of y'all. And it's been funny since we are all Rhinebeck newbies. We've had lots of questions. So a huge thank you to Shauna of Adelaide Cottage, because she has answered so many questions for me and given me so many good tips on things that we need to do to prepare and things to do the day of the festival. So Shauna, I cannot wait to give you a huge, huge hug. But in preparing for Rhinebeck and kind of making plans, you know, booking our house and figuring out what we're gonna do the Friday night before, you know, just different things, I kind of got inspired to do a new sock design. We were talking about our Rhinebeck sweaters, which I'll talk about mine in works in progress. And it's funny, Amber and I were like, we feel like we need a hat, we need socks, we need a shawl, we need a sweater, all special to wear to Rhinebeck. Fingers crossed the weather is nice, and by nice I mean cold and not rainy. So we'll see. But I got inspired to do a new sock design. And I am so sorry if you can hear Chloe. I just realized she's squeaking her ball. So if you can hear Chloe, I am terribly sorry. She has a racket ball. Eric buys these for her. I have no idea why, because, I mean, she enjoys them. I know why, but it's very annoying. She will not give it up. It is a battle to get her to give the racquetball up, and she makes the most obnoxious noises when she is chomping on it. So I'm sorry if she was doing that for a few minutes and I did not notice. But anyways, I came up with a new sock design, and it is called Rhinebeck is Calling. Are you guys ready to see it? I am so happy with this. This is by far, I mean, I've only got 3 sock patterns out there, so it's not like I'm this crazy sock designer, but this is by far my favorite one I've done. I absolutely love this sock. So let me show you the front here. It has a zigzag eyelet design that goes down. You've got 3 of those on the front and then 3 on the back as well. Get a little closer here so you can see the pattern. And then in the middle here, you've got some knit and purl stitches to give it a little bit of texture. The pattern does come with instructions for a slip stitch, heel flap, and gusset, and just a standard rounded toe. It is in 3 sizes, adult, small, medium, and large. Down the side here, you've got just a straight stockinette panel that just kind of continues on down to the foot. It's very easy very easy to memorize, 4-row pattern repeat. I'm super happy with it, and I am definitely going to be making more. I don't know that this is going to be the pair I wear on Saturday. I may knit another pair to wear that Saturday at Rhinebeck, but I absolutely love this pattern. Now the yarn that I used is Molly Klein Design, her Sweet Tea Yarns, and it is her Sweet Sock Base, which is a 75-25 merino nylon blend in the Mama's Coffee colorway. And I thought it was a great fall colorway. So yes, if you have bought the pattern already, thank you so much. And guess what? We are going to do a knit along for these. I think we will go ahead and start it. I'm going to go ahead and open the thread, and it'll be just the Rhinebeck is Calling cowl. And any socks that you make with this pattern, if you make 4 socks with this pattern, enter every single one in. Each one counts as an entry. And we will keep it open until October 31st. So what I'm planning on, if we have any prizes that are donated for this knit along, that is amazing. And I will also add in a prize. I will try to pick up something super special from Rhinebeck to do as a prize for this knit along when it ends. So yes, it will start today, July 26th, and run until October 31st. That is quite a long knit along, but I just think it'll be super fun. I know I'm going to be knitting more than one pair for myself, more than one more pair, because I've already got this one for myself, and I'm going to be making one for my mother-in-law as well, probably one for my sister. I just think it is a great pattern, and it gives you some texture and just a gorgeous zigzag design, but it's not overly feminine. It's not too much of a pattern to try to memorize. Like I said, 4-row, easy to memorize. So definitely check out the pattern. It's available on Ravelry for $3, and enter into the knit along. There will be a chatter and an FO thread open in the group today. That's it for finished objects. I think that was quite enough, don't you guys? That was 5 pairs of socks. I have not had that many sock FOs in ever, maybe on the podcast. That's a lot. 5 finished objects. All right, so now we are into works in progress. I've got 2 that I'm going to show you. One hasn't actually been started yet, but it's kind of a to be soon work in progress, I guess. So first up in my Mountain State Stitches drawstring bag, I have my Jane Eyre socks. You guys have seen these a few times. And the yarn that I'm using is, whoops, I'm tangled, Reader, I Married Him by Adelaide Cottage. These I started in June as well, I believe. They weren't anything that was for, actually, I take that back. There is a knit along going on. Sarah of Love Sock Wool is doing a Bronte along. So I have no idea when that ends. I could have already missed the deadline. I'm gonna have to check on that. But I don't think I have though. But I am past the heel on the first sock. So look at this gorgeous yarn. The pattern that I'm doing for this is the Union Square socks, and this has been my favorite pattern from Mina's New York Sock Club collection. So I absolutely love it, and I love it, this yarn. As soon as I got this yarn, I knew that's what it was going to be for, is another pair of these socks, because it's just such a fun pattern. So yes, I'm past the heel, and I did do Mina's short row heel, German short row heel, with the added heel flap adjustment. US 1 2.25 millimeter needles, 64 stitches, my usual. So I'm working right along on those. And I had wanted to have them done by the end of July. I kind of wanted to, or not, yeah, the end of July. I kind of wanted to start August off with empty sock needles, because that would just seem kind of crazy. And since I got 5 socks done, I was like, I can do it. But I've still got that one, and I'm just past the heel on the first sock. So I don't know that it's gonna happen. I do still have, you know, a little bit of time here in the month. So I guess we will see. But I have so many Rhinebeck things coming up that I want to knit, and I have my niece's birthday. I really wanted to do a sweater for her. My mother-in-law's birthday is in September, so I wanted to do a thing for her, and I'll show the yarn and tell you guys about that in just a bit. But yes, there's quite a bit coming up, so I kind of wanted to have empty sock needles so that the socks that I do can just be focused on my sock pattern for the New York Sock Club collection, because I am keeping up with that knit along, and then for the Magical Maladies knit along. But I don't know that it'll happen, and if it doesn't, that's okay. This pattern is Mina's Union Square. It's very easy to memorize, and it's something that I feel like I've kind of got down now, so I can work on it while I'm at knit group or while we're in the car, when I'm not driving, of course, or, you know, wherever we may go that I have a little bit of knitting time while I'm waiting. Next work in progress, as though soon to be work in progress, I've got this in my deer bag, and I'm gonna have to try to look back through my show notes and see where this came from. I bought it from a shop on Etsy, I believe, and I cannot remember the shop name, and there's no tag on it. I thought for sure when I got it out there was a tag on it, but I do not see a tag anywhere with a shop name, and I cannot remember where I got this. But they're fancy deer, and they're just so cute. Look at them. So in here is my Rhinebeck sweater. Wyatt's just gonna, he's not being quite as shy anymore. Do you want to say hi? He's got some crazy hair, doesn't he? Okay, so for my Rhinebeck sweater, I am doing Old Romance by Joji Locatelli. I think there are some other pictures. It's in black and white. My printer is out of color ink right now, so sorry for the black and white. It has a lace panel down both sleeves, and the construction is a bit different. Amy of Little Tailoress podcast is making one right now as well. So I might need to like message you, Amy, and ask you some questions, because I partly feel like I made the mistake of reading too much into the pattern. Sometimes I think it's always good to read so you know what's coming up, especially if the pattern tells you read this entire section or read entire pattern before continuing. But at the same time, when you read through and you see some of the things you have to do, it's kind of like, oh, that's a lot. So I need to get this started, in other words, because the construction, well, the instructions for it are very detailed, and I think I will have no problem following it. I'm not meaning it in that way at all. The pattern is so well written. I feel like all of Joji's patterns are, but the construction of this is a bit different. So I need to get started, just because I feel like it may be a lot to do. Not hard, just a lot to do. So for this, I am using Malabrigo sock. I know I have tags in here. So let's see, I have got the lace panel down the side is going to be in this color. And this is Pearl. And then the other color that I'm going to do, the main color, is this. So I think that's going to be really pretty and very fall-like, I think, with this golden color. I am really, really excited to get it started. I think the gray is going to look great for the lace. I should have had enough. This is kind of a leftover ball. I used some of this in my mini striped cow that I did. So I should have enough in this. I had like 72 grams left of this, but I went ahead and bought another one just in case because I'm so worried that I'm going to run out of yarn, and I have 3 of these. So I think I should be good. I'm going to do the size small, I believe. It is kind of a boxier sweater, so it'll wear a little bit oversized. So the measurement that I went by, I didn't go by the finished bust size because they are going to be so oversized that I feel like even an extra small would probably fit. So I went by the sleeve measurement for the upper arm, and my arm measured about 11.75 inches. So the small, I think, was 12 inches for the upper arm, and then, or I'm sorry, the extra small was 12 inches. The small was like 12 and a half, I want to say, or something like that. So I think I'm going to go for the small, and fingers crossed it will work. So I'm going to be a good girl and swatch for that. I have planned, I posted on Instagram the pattern, the yarn. I plan to start that Friday, I think was when I was going to start that. But I got very distracted by the Rhinebeck is Calling socks pattern, so the sweater has not been started yet, but I finished those yesterday. The pattern's out. I'm ready to swatch. I'm going to be a good girl and I'm going to swatch and I'm going to block it. Make sure the yarn doesn't grow a bunch on me and make sure that I get gauge, and I'm going to be a good girl because I really want it to fit and to not have to rip it out and start again, because that's no fun. No one likes to do that. But I'm really excited about it. And like I said, Amber and I are really like, we want to get our sweater done and we want to do a shawl and we want to have socks. So I've got my Rhinebeck is Calling socks. Even if I don't get another pair done, I've got the ones that I've already made. The sweater I'm going to get done, and our plan is to keep on track to have our sweater done by September 2nd, because on September 2nd, Mina Phillip has a Road to Rhinebeck mystery knit along starting. She's been releasing a little bit of details here and there. It is a crescent shaped shawl, 4 skeins of DK weight, I believe. If you head over to our Instagram, she's posted a few pictures that give some details about that. So I am really excited to start that because I feel like it's a Road to Rhinebeck shawl, and I believe she said it was kind of in honor of her first time going. So this is my first time as well, so I feel like I need to knit that shawl. So that will hopefully be the shawl that I get done for that, and I'm thinking a navy blue because I think that'll match the gold and the gray in my sweater really well. So navy blue paired with something, I'm not sure exactly what yet, but I think that'll be really nice. So then I'll just need to do a hat. And honestly, it's probably not going to be that cold, but we are coming from North Carolina, me, Angie, and Amber. So I feel like anything below 70 degrees, we're going to need to bundle up because we're going to be freezing. So maybe, I don't know. Regardless, I'll have gorgeous items that I can then later on wear in the winter. Now we're gonna show some mail. I have just a few things here. Oh, and I have not even mentioned Just Stash July. How's everybody doing? Are you guys doing good with that? Have you broken down and bought some yarn? I will say, I've been to the Salty Sheep, but that was the one exception that I made, was that if I would do the Salty Sheep, I could buy some yarn. So let's see, I had 1.5 skeins of the yarn for my sweater, so I did purchase 3 more from the Salty Sheep. So there is that, but that was my exception. If I went to her shop, I could buy yarn, but I have not ordered any yarn. What is today, the 26th? I have not ordered any yarn probably since the last day of June. I think I did order something because I was like, I've got to start tomorrow, so I'm going to order something today. But all month long I have not ordered. And I'm going to be on quite a tight spending budget. Honestly, trying not to buy anything unless it's something I cannot live without as far as anything knitting goes. Bags, yarn, anything, because I am saving for Rhinebeck. I am so excited to go to, we're going to try to go to Indie Untangled, Needles Up, the 2 events that are happening on Friday. We're going to try to hit both of those. Since this is our first time, we're not really sure how any of this works. We'll see if we can hit both of them, but we're going to try because I really want to get my hands on some yarn from Kristen of Woolenvine, who will be at Indie Untangled, because I really want to make her Oracle shawl and I want to use some of her yarn. I know I want to use her Grimm colorway, and I'm thinking, I love the colors that she used in hers, but I can't remember all the colorway names. I know it was Grimm, and there was like a purple color. So yes, I'm hoping to be able to get my hands on at least one of the skeins that I'll need for her shawl. So yeah, we're really excited, and I want to save as much money between now and then so that I can just go a little crazy at Rhinebeck, you guys. But yes, so I have been good. I have not bought any yarn this month, and I've just got some goodies that I received in the mail to show you. So first I want to show you this tiny little button that I got from a viewer of the podcast. She won a prize and she wanted to send a little thank you. So she sent me some teas and then this cute little button that I cannot wait to put on a bag. How sweet is this? It is just the tiniest little thing, but I tell you guys what, sometimes it is just tiny little things like this that just make you smile so much. This was just so sweet. So I've already told her thank you, but thank you again. You know who you are. And I need to find, I don't have a field bag. I need a good bag that I can put all of my pins on. I had them on like a big duffel bag that I would carry my project bags into knitting, but I kind of find that it's torn up a few of the buttons because, you know, they're out all the time getting hit in the car. You know, when I'm putting it in and out of the car, we're setting it down somewhere. So I need to find a good project bag that I can put those pins on. And I would love to have a field, you know, from Fringe Supply Co., but they are a bit pricey. And right now I'm saving for Rhinebeck, so that is a no-go. But I need something that I can put those on, just a simple kind of bag. So if you know of a good shop, an Etsy shop or whatever that has a good zippered or drawstring project bag that's pretty and a little plain, you know, because you want to dress it up with those buttons, let me know the name of the shop. I would love to check it out. I've got everything kind of set up under the camera, so I'm really hoping I do not shake everything too much. All right, so very carefully grabbing things. I received a package from Wild Happy Collar, and that is a shop on Etsy. And Carolyn is the owner of the shop, and she's going to be doing one of the Swapless Swaps in the Ravelry group coming up soon, so be sure to keep an eye out on that. And she wanted to send me a skein to check out. So here's her info. And she sent, there is a lavender sachet here, a cute little macaroon case with a variety of stitch markers in there. Some of my light bulb ones are in there, which are my favorite. And she also sent some teas, which are already in the kitchen. So the yarn that she sent is called Breaking Dawn. There's a cute little bicycle progress keeper. And look at this. And this is on her Nurture base, which is an 80-10-10 superwash merino cashmere nylon blend, 435 yards, 100 grams. And I kid you not, I opened this package, I pulled the yarn out, I was like, bandana cowl. Brioche bandana cowl, to be exact. I will insert a picture of the pattern right here. So yes, that's what this is going to be, paired with some gray. Yeah, solid gray, I think, or like a tonal gray. And I actually have a gray from Angie at Camel City Dye Works in the hutch back here that was intended for a shawl, but I may pair it with this and make the brioche bandana cowl because that is what this needs to be. And it will be a gift for my mother-in-law. I knew that as soon as I saw the pattern, that's something I was going to make her. And this, isn't it funny? Has anyone ever had that happen before? I'm sure y'all have. You see a skein of yarn. A lot of the times I just get skeins of yarn and I'm like, oh, it's gorgeous, you know, but I don't know what I'm going to do with it. It'll eventually be socks more than likely. But this, as soon as I opened it, it's like it was screaming at me coming out the package. Like, this is what I need to be. So who am I to say no to this gorgeousness? So yes, soon this will have to be a brioche bandana cowl because her birthday is in September and she rides horses a lot. They have 2 horses, her and my father-in-law, so they're always out trail riding and things. So I think a brioche bandana cowl would be perfect for when it starts getting cooler in West Virginia. She can just kind of put that on with even a sweatshirt or something and go out riding horses. Next, I have something I'm so excited about. I posted about this on Instagram, and I know that some of my followers on Instagram shot right over there and bought out these little goodies from her shop. This is from Jamie of Random Fandom Bags. So if you do not follow Jamie, pause me right now and look her up on Etsy and Instagram as Random Fandom Bags. So first I will show you what she sent me. She sent me 2, so I've got one for a giveaway. So the first one is the one that I decided to keep for myself. Oh, let me show you this first. It came with a cute little teacup, or not teacup, what is it? Teapot and a teacup. I wasn't wrong, it's teacup. Progress Keeper. And there's her label, RFB, Random Fandom Bags. Okay, you guys, look at this. It is a Notions pouch that looks like a tea bag. Have you guys ever seen anything like this? I have never seen anything like this. And like, look at this. Look, this is tiny. Can you imagine the time and detail that has to go into making this, into putting the zipper in? And then she has an amazing clasp on the top. You could hook it to your zipper pull for your bag, inside your bag if you've got like a little D-ring or a key ring in there. I cannot get over this. Now I put some stuff in here to kind of show you guys the size of it. I've got my Hiya snips in there. And I love the see-through. You guys know I love my Daisy Girl and Company bags with the see-through on the front. I love being able to see what's in there, and I think that is just amazing for your notions, because how many times am I putting things in my bags and I'm like, I gotta open it and I don't have a needle in there, or I don't have scissors in there, or the right stitch markers or something that I need. So this, I can just take a look, see what I've got in there, and I'm good to go. So it opens up on the top there, and you can see exactly what you've got in there. She has her tag on the back. And she has some great fabrics. So you guys, check this shop out ASAP. I don't know if they'll still be in there when this goes up, but I know this morning she did put some new bags in there, Little Notions bags that she had made yesterday. And she not only has these, she has project bags with the see-through pouch on the front, and she has DPN needle cozies as well. So head over and check out her shop. These are just so cute. And thank you guys so much to everyone that after I posted that on Instagram, you went over and you checked out her Instagram and you checked out her shop. And those of you that purchased these little tea bag things, thank you guys, because she was so excited. I told her as soon as I saw them that I knew she was gonna sell a ton of these because they are so cute. And this is the one that she sent for a prize. So it is still all neatly packaged. I'm not quite sure if I'm going to do just a giveaway for it or if I'm going to save it for a knit-along prize. I'm not positive yet. I haven't made up my mind, but it will be for you guys, and look how cute. I love the little hearts. I had such a hard time deciding which one I wanted to keep because I love the hearts inside of here, but I have been on a huge floral kick. I want everything floral right now. So I ended up going with the floral. These are just the cutest things I have ever seen. I cannot get over it. I'm pretty sure Eric is tired of hearing me talk about it because I've been so excited about these. Next, I have a few goodies that I got from a good friend. Amber of Maker's Haven was vacationing down around my area again. If you've been watching for a while, you know we got together the last time that she was in, and that was the first time that we got to meet, and we hit it off. So this time, and not only did we hit it off, but our kids hit it off. They got along great. So when she was going to be even close to this area again, we knew we wanted to get together. So we kind of met up in the middle in Swansboro, North Carolina. And I will put some footage at the end, videos that I took of our little morning that we spent in Swansboro. So stay tuned to the end if you're interested in seeing that. But when I met up with Amber, she brought me a few gifts. She's so sweet. She gave me 2 of her sock sets. This one is coloring book page. This was a July Club little sock kit, and this is a 75-25 superwash nylon blend, and there is 70 grams total in this. Look how pretty. Oh, I love that. The blues and the greens. And on here she has some of her knitting jewelry is what she calls it, and it's fabulous. She hand makes these. There's her label. And then she also gave me this one. It's another little sock kit, and this one is called Karaoke Nights. Some more little knitting jewelry. So cute. So she just hit it out of the park with these as far as my favorite colors go, because blues, purples, and greens are my favorite, and just look at these. So I cannot wait to start on some socks with these. I think I might take this one as part of my Rhinebeck knitting if I can hold off and not start it before then, because I think I've decided on just taking socks on that trip. Lots and lots of socks. 2 more packages to show you guys. This next one came from my friend Jenny of Mountain State Stitches, and she also sent a few other goodies with this, but they are already over there. She sent me a DPN cozy, and she sent me a sock ruler. Have you guys ever seen those? Maybe I should grab that real quick. Pause. Just gonna play the part of Molly here and run and grab that. Okay, so she had ordered this and she didn't use it, so she thought that I might be able to use it. And this is from sockruler.com. And I mean, you could use this on cuff down. Yeah, you could use it the same, but I would say it's probably more for toe up. So I'm probably gonna have to try toe up again with a different toe, because I don't like a really wedged toe. I like a rounder toe. But anyways, yes, I think I'm gonna try toe up again just so I can use this, because it's just pretty fun. So the idea is, obviously, I don't have any toe up socks to show you right now, but the idea is you would slide it in, you know, say your toe is right there. You would just slide that in and see how far you are to when you need to start your heel. So that's kind of the idea with it, and I think it's pretty neat. I know when she had ordered this a while back, I wanted one and I just never got around to ordering it. So she sent that along with the package, but the main thing that she sent, I am super excited about. Would you just look at this cute girl and her little fox and their balloons. This is so cute. I had tried to squeeze my Rhinebeck sweater into this because I want to use it so bad, but of course my Rhinebeck sweater would not fit. So this is going to be my August socks for either the Harry Potter cow or for Mina's cow. I'm not sure which yet. Probably Mina's, because I'll start them first, but yeah. This is going to be for my August socks because I can't wait. So she's got the cute polka dot fabric down here and in the inside as well. A great handle, and her bags are very squishy and nice. A boxed bottom, of course. So yeah, I am really, really excited to get my August socks into this and be able to use this bag. I just can't get over this little girl and her fox. It makes me so happy. Last thing I have to show you is something that I purchased. I think I may have said that everything was just goodies I received in the mail, but I forgot about this. I did purchase this, but it's not yarn, so it does not count for just Stash July. I recently, the bag that we're giving away from Erica of the Scrappy Thread on Etsy, she had sent me one to try out as well. I showed it last week. So she posted that she was having an update. This matches the bag that she had sent me. So I had to have this DPN needle cozy because it matches. I have to be matchy-matchy. I love it. So, and it's got floral. I love the floral, the knit stitches, the little hearts. So yeah, I ordered this to match my bag. It's got a cute fabric on the inside and her label. There's her tag. She is the Scrappy Thread on Etsy. And while I was looking at her update, I saw these little progress keepers, or you could use them as zipper pulls. It's a little bit of a glare. Let me take it out. They don't really need to be in the package. Apologize for the crinkling. Be able to see it a little bit better if I take it out. How sweet is this? Oh, I love them. And there's the back of them. Just a gold. They are so cute. So that one's a little heart. More crinkling. And this one is a bee. I just think they're absolutely adorable. I could not resist these. I'm going to use them as progress keepers just because they make me smile so much in the package. They're gonna make me smile on my projects. I thought it was funny. I was watching Amber of Yarn Hoarder, and she was working on a hat, I believe, and talking about her progress keeper and about how it had no purpose other than the fact that it made her smile every time she went around to that side of the hat. And I'm like, yes, because how many times do I have progress keepers on socks and I forget to move them up to mark my progress, or they're not even doing that. I just slip them on just because I like the progress keeper and it makes me smile. So knitting jewelry. I like Amber's name for hers, knitting jewelry, because that's what they are, knitting jewelry. They just make you smile and make you happy. So that is all I have for mail today. Normally we would have some chatter at the end, but honestly I really think I probably chattered enough about Rhinebeck and various things throughout this episode, so I don't really think that we have a lot to chat about. We are just kind of I feel like after July, I think I mentioned this last time, the summer, it kind of shifts gears and you're getting ready for back to school. So we have started doing that. We bought lunch boxes last week. So first school supply thing purchased. Check for lunch boxes. Now for the rest of the list. The kids have open house coming up.
Yay.
They're excited to go back. I feel like towards the end of the summer, it kind of, they've been around each other every day. And if you have more than one kid, or, you know, you're from a family where you had siblings. I had 2 sisters, and I know the end of the summer, you're kind of like, okay, we've been around each other every day. We're kind of pressing each other's buttons a lot more. They're ready to go back to school and see their friends. Just kind of looking forward to that. We don't really have a lot going on the next 2 weeks until I'll see you again. We have a going away party to go to this weekend. A couple of Eric's colleagues are going to Norway. They've accepted a job over there with the company that Eric works with. So they will be heading over there next month, actually, I believe, is when they move.
Yes.
So we have Daddy's best friend. Yes, Daddy's best friend is going to Norway. So we have their going away party this weekend. So we will be doing that. Kind of it. I did go down to the Salty Sheep in Swansboro, North Carolina. I went down there with Amber, and then I went down there this past Monday and hung out and knit from, I think I got there at like 11:30-ish, and I left around 2. So I spent a few hours there just hanging out. There was a ton of ladies there, and it made me so happy to see the shop so full. It is just a fabulous shop. So definitely, if you were ever even around this area, I've recommended it so many times, but head over to Peggy's shop in Swansboro and be sure to take your knitting so that you can sit and hang out with the ladies, because almost every time that I've been there, I don't think I've ever been in there when nobody is sitting and knitting, maybe once, but there's always ladies in there, and that shop was a hoppin' on Monday. It was a lot of fun. That's definitely it for today. I should probably hop off here, clean up this mess, and get this edited and up to y'all. Be sure to head over to the Ravelry group and join us over there. The Rhinebeck is Calling Sock Knit Along will be starting today. I'm going to post the thread over on Ravelry, so be sure to get your pattern and join us in that. I think it's going to be so much fun. I'm so excited about everyone that has bought the pattern so far. I cannot wait to see the socks that you're knitting up, and I so hope to be able to see some of those in person at Rhinebeck. So if you see me there, come say hello. If you've got your socks on, I want to see your socks. Maybe that sounds kind of creepy, but I want to see your socks. So yeah, I am looking forward to that, and I've got 3 months, and I'm way too excited to still have 3 months to wait for Rhinebeck. Is anybody else out there this excited about Rhinebeck? I think I've had maybe a little bit too much coffee. I hope that you guys have a good few weeks until I see you again, and I hope to be able to chat with some of you everywhere on the various social medias. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. If you enjoyed the podcast and you have not subscribed yet, be sure to hit the subscribe button and give me a thumbs up if you so wish. That will just help the podcast get out there in recommended areas on YouTube to people who might be interested in seeing it. So thank you guys so much again, and I will see you soon. Happy knitting. Bye.